There are beautiful moments when when the nervous system settles and the mind becomes quiet. When the heart feels unburdened and the demands of the world have temporarily fallen away. There is sweetness in this. We cherish those moments. We may find those moments in meditation, in silence, taking a walk in nature. And so we come to believe that peace is a state that comes and goes, that certain conditions must be in place, circumstances must be favorable. There must be no conflict, no difficulty, no uncertainty, no disturbance. This is what we usually equate with peace. If we keep on seeking for this peace that is dependent on favorable circumstances, then we cannot truly be at peace. We cannot discover the deeper dimension of peace, which opens the doorway to freedom. The peace that's being invited as a discovery is the peace that is present before the mind divides life into what should be here and what should not be here. It's a peace that does not oppose disturbance. This the mind does not want to accept. If we feel anger or grief or confusion, then we believe that peace has been lost. If we experience anxiety, or any other challenging emotion, tension, then we try to fix ourselves in order to become a more peaceful person. But all of this is an attempt by the separate self to manage its experience, to manage experience itself. Imagining that peace is somewhere else, something that can be manufactured, something that can be created, something that is given as a reward when the separate self has fixed itself, gotten rid of anxiety or anger or grief. But true peace doesn't require any of this. It doesn't require the management of the self or the management of life or the management of experience. It is simply the end of resistance to what is. This means stopping the fight with reality, ending the inner war. Stop making this moment an enemy. This ending of the inner war is available to each of us, irrespective of circumstance, culture, education. We have that capacity. We start by being radically honest with ourselves. Where are we saying this should not be happening? I should not be feeling this. It's usually our internal landscape that we are resisting. I should not be feeling this. That very statement, that very thought is an action of resistance, is an action of violence against reality, and begins the construction project of the separate self. It's a contraction, an inner contraction, where the sense of me becomes reinforced. Me against life, me against myself, me against this emotion, me trying to become more peaceful, me trying to improve myself, me trying to improve life. There's not a lot of peace in that. We are invited to become sensitive to the movement, the inner movement that takes place within that resistance to what is. We can see that, become sensitive to it. And then the invitation opens up another invitation, which is the invitation to notice, to become sensitive to that which is noticing itself. In other words, what is it that is knowing? What is this knowing? Does knowing contract? And when I say knowing, I'm really saying awareness. Does it contract even when there is a contraction? Does it become confused when there is confusion? When we see this, when we recognize that, which knows all things, which is aware of all things, we don't stand back as a detached observer. On the contrary, we come closer to experience because there's no resistance to it. There's no defendedness. There is both a vast, open allowing and a soft intimacy. We could say a luminous intimacy with what is.